Bushnell, industry leaders in high-performance sports optics. Federal Premium Ammunition, every shot counts. Savage Arms and Stephen Shotguns, the definition of accuracy. Gold Tip, the toughest arrows you will ever shoot. Damn straight. King's Camo, wherever you hunt, King's has you covered. Westside Stores, your outdoor sports authority. And these other fine sponsors.
Well, it's Thursday morning and Chris and I are heading off to Abbotsford Airport to catch our flight to Ottawa, where we will be meeting up with Steve from the CWTF, and hopefully we'll be connecting on some Eastern turkeys.
Time for a gobble gobble.
Catch you guys soon.
Just got a text from Steve. Got some nice toms coming into where we're going to be staying at our cabin. So we're looking forward to this. Things are getting optimistic. He's even sent us. He's got some pics.
We just got to Ottawa. Steve just picked us up. We're in the underground parking at the airport and we're just packing our things in, getting ready to go. We have a little bit of a drive ahead of us.
This week brings us to southern Ontario, home of Niagara Falls, the Great Lakes, and some monster eastern turkeys.
That's right, Chris. This week's hunt brings us to Ontario, where we will be hunting with Director of Operations and Canadian Wild Turkey Federation's the one and only Steve Nicholson. Now, as you all remember from past episodes, the rest of the team has already been here with Steve and they've all harvested some pretty fantastic birds. I'm definitely looking forward to the week ahead of us, and I'm possibly looking forward to harvesting my first turkey, and an Eastern at that.
Absolutely. The 12 gauge is in Tegan's hands. You're not going to want to miss this episode.
Well, it's our first morning here, and the rain has not been letting up at all. But we're standing in the cabin here, and I looked out the window, and I started freaking out. I'm like, you guys, outside! And we look, and there comes up the road, a bunch of jakes. So it's our first morning here in Tweed, Ontario, and this morning we woke up and there was about 8 jakes that kind of ran in front of our cabin and kind of got us pumped up a little bit. The weather conditions are absolutely atrocious today. It's cold, it's a bit windy, and it's super raining out. Day one here in Ontario. It's cold, it's wet, it's windy, and we just had a pack of rascally jakes come in, and they weren't seemed to be too bothered by us, but they didn't get close enough to get a real good look at them, but they're definitely jakes, and they're definitely off to bigger and better things.
So we went and set up over on the power line. If those jakes didn't come back about an hour and a half later, you guys saw moose. We saw all kinds of action over there. The birds are around. They're a little wet and slow this morning, but we're gonna get on them this afternoon and see if we can't get Tegan her first turkey.
Yeah, I'm super pumped, super optimistic. There's definitely a lot of turkeys around here. That's definitely not a lie. So I don't know, we're gonna get back out there and see where the rest of the afternoon takes us.
Let's do it. Can't shoot them from the camp.
No.
Stay tuned for more hunting action with Bushnell's Trigger Effect after this commercial break.
The best turkey load isn't the one with the tightest pattern. It's the one that kills gobblers in any situation. Third Degree uses a 3-stage payload to do exactly that. Flight Stopper lead for larger, more lethal close-range patterns. Premium lead for dense, deadly patterns at mid-range. Heavyweight number 7 for skull-shattering power at 50 yards. One load, any range. Third Degree from Federal Premium.
They've got the eyes of an apex predator and a body that could tie a crowbar in a knot. They're razor sharp and built for blunt force. Precision optics that can chew up and spit out anything Mother Nature can dish out. The new Legend binoculars by Bushnell. Available in 3 series, all featuring patented Rain Guard HD. They're bright and clear and built for conditions that are anything but. Only by Bushnell.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Hunting Consultants Plus, more than just a booking agency. Now, let's return to the action with Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Alrighty, so we just got to our blind and we kind of did an incognito sneaky peek into this one because we've been chasing these toms around all day and there's a couple of hens with them and they're just sitting at the bottom of this little hill. So Steve's got us going on 3 toms right now. It's a really good spot. These turkeys are roosting up just behind me here. So when we got to the blind, we didn't have an opportunity to set up our decoys. So Steve is just going to go set them up right now, and then hopefully we can get the rest of the turkeys that are on the other side of this ridge to come back up. Our hens have gone back behind us now, so it's giving us a really good opportunity. Alrighty, so it's 7 o'clock here in Ontario, and these turkeys are going the nights, and we're heading back to the cabin, and we'll regroup and head out tomorrow morning, first thing. Gobble gobble.
Hey folks, today I wanted to sit down and talk with Steve Nicholson, Director of Operations for the Canadian Wild Turkey Federation. We wanted to take a little break from the hunting action so we could get serious and talk about the Women Like Us program. Steve, is there anything you could elaborate on?
Yes, absolutely, Tegan. First of all, I want to thank you and Chris from Bushnell's Trigger Effect for coming back to Ontario to film a hunt with us. We've had some pretty exciting times over the last little bit. We'll have to pick up on that later. The Women Like Us program is an initiative that we established through the Canadian Wild Turkey Federation to help first encourage women to get into the hunting, turkey hunting specifically, or any form of outdoor activities. We want to also try and help to educate them in safe, ethical hunting practices and maybe some of the tricks of the trade of the turkey hunting world. And then as well engage them in hunting activities, try to get them out and on their first hunts and show them what it's all about.
Absolutely, and I know I've met some great gals through the program. All right, folks, stay tuned for more hunting action with Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Alrighty, so today is one of our last days and the weather has totally changed. There's not a cloud in the sky. The moon is out, the sun is about to rise, and we got to get to our blind.
Sorry. Right on that. We got one.
Bushnell's Trigger Effect will return shortly after this commercial break.
With the lightweight configuration of the Savage MSR-10 Hunter, you can be ready for any scenario, so you can enjoy the journey and the trophy. The MSR-10 Hunter. Savage. Better comes standard.
Federal Premium Third Degree changes what hunters should demand from a turkey load. Not just a tight pattern that looks good on paper. A deadlier, more forgiving load for real hunters who need to kill gobblers at any range. So whether a gobbler hangs up at 50 yards, walks into your lap, or works the decoys, you'll deliver the most effective pattern possible with Third Degree Federal Premium.
For more information on Bushnell's Trigger Effect, visit our website or Facebook. Now, back to the action.
Well, it's one of our last days here in Ontario and our CWTF hunt with Steve Nicholson, and you have just harvested yourself a awesome tom.
I did. What a morning it was. I mean, it's been a tough hunt this last week. Lots of sightings, lots of birds. They just weren't cooperating because of the weather. These guys came in. We had two birds coming. We were set up for a double, but you couldn't quite get a clear shot, and they were on their way out the back door, or the front door, so to speak. So I had to go ahead and shoot.
Yes.
And here we have it.
There he was. Well, congratulations
Thank
again.
you.
That's
Thank you.
awesome.
In Ontario, before you tag or after you tag your bird, you've got till noon the next day to call it in and register, and that's part of the process of the Ministry of Natural Resources collecting data and information on what birds are harvested, the age of the bird, length of spurs, length of beard, stuff like that.
We're in the truck warming up, ready for Timmy's, ready for the blind, ready for some turkeys.
check them out.
It's awesome. It's
job.
awesome, Steve.
Finally.
Thank you. Holy moly. You were totally right. They came right down the gauntlet. Holy!
Look at that.
Lethbridge College proudly presents Conservation Connection.
Welcome to Conservation Connection, and this is a topic I'm very passionate about. Kent and I started our careers in the environmental sciences at an educational institute like Lethbridge College. Joining me today is Terry Kowalchuk, who's the Dean of Environmental Sciences. Tell me a little bit about the program.
Thanks, Dean. Well, our programs are essentially broken up into three different areas. One is resource law enforcement, the second one is resource management, and the third one is environmental assessment and restoration. Depending on what the students are interested in doing, they can either do a diploma with us or continue on and complete a degree.
So when a student does come to the environmental sciences program, what can they expect?
Well, they can expect a mix of theory and applied work. And the theory is the lecture component, which is the framework of which we build all the rest of the curriculum. The second part is the applied, and that includes labs and field trips. So our students are actually in the field, applying what they're learning, practicing their techniques, and developing the skills that they need to be successful as a biologist, ecologist, resource manager, and resource law enforcement officer.
Yeah, and it enriched my life coming to an institute like Lethbridge College. It really kicked off my career. I know it kicked off Kent's career. If you're looking for information, I guess where can students come to look for it?
They can go to our website, www.lethbridgecollege.ca, and follow the links to our program areas. And if they have any questions, they can contact us that way or via email. And we look forward to having them as a student someday.
Great. Well, anyways, let's get back to some great hunting action here at Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Holy moly!
Look at that.
Wow. What a beautiful bird. 8 days of hunting hard. Wow. Thank you, Steve, so much for such an amazing hunt. We've had a great time out here, and I couldn't be any more pumped than I am right now. Man.
Congratulations.
Thank
Your
you
first
so
Ontario
much, Steve.
turkey.
Woohoo! Thank you so much, Steve. This
You
is
so deserve this
awesome.
one.
Oh, what a great prize. Just beautiful. I can't believe this. Wow. So awesome.
Well, Tegan's finally passed the torch to me. Spent 8.5 days behind that camera. We're on our 23rd hour. We fly home tomorrow afternoon, so we got tonight and tomorrow morning. Just on our way back after Tegan's bird, we grabbed a quick breakfast. All of a sudden, along the power line here, we see a big group of birds. A little hard to glass them from here, but we're pretty sure we can see there's a larger tom, big red head. We're going to put a move on him. We've got access to the field that's right beside him, so stay tuned.
More Bushnell's Trigger Effect after these important messages.
To make the big shots, you've got to be ready in tough spots. The new Trigger Stick Gen 3 makes it faster than ever to shoot steadier than ever. With one-hand trigger adjustments, a new quick detach yoke for fast switches from optics to gun, and new locking leg angles for full adjustments in any terrain. Be more than rock steady, be shock steady. The new Trigger Stick Gen 3, only from Primos.
No matter the target, every shot counts. No matter the shot, every impact takes a toll. That's why every gold tip arrow starts with smart carbon technology for unmatched toughness and straightness retention, so they stay true shot after shot. From the range to the hunt, and every challenge in between. Gold tip. Start tough, stay true.
Welcome back to Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Well, this is our final morning here in Ontario, hunting with the Canadian Wild Turkey Federation, Steve Nicholson. We put some birds to bed here last night. We know we saw a pretty nice tom that's over just in the corner here. We know there's some smaller toms over this way as well.
They've been gobbling this morning, but I don't know. They're elusive birds, and this big guy, he's smart enough to stay in the woods. So we're gonna keep calling a bit. Hope we can lure him out and seal the deal on our final morning here. Well, I've been here a couple hours now. We've got a few turkeys that are around, nothing that's coming close to us. We did a little bit of calling. Most of them are just milling around. We can tell that some of the toms that we can hear and see, they've got hens in the bush, so they're henned up pretty good. But we're gonna leg it out for a couple more hours before we gotta head back to the airport. So we just had 2 hens come through. Now it looks like we've got 3 more birds coming. Looks like 2 jakes and a big long beard has been fanning out, so we're gonna keep it quiet. Well, that might have been our last chance. We didn't think these hens were going to come over and 2 jakes. In comes the tom. As you saw, the hen and jakes came in at, I bet you that was 6 yards from us. We figured that tom was just going to be trailing him. He's too smart. He went down about 60 yards and he came into the field through his own little route. The adrenaline was going. I thought that was it, but got outsmarted. Tom 1, Chris 0.
This is where we stayed for the last 9 days. The Hughes and Kerr family were more than generous with offering this place for us. It's absolutely a beautiful spot. Well, folks, our week here in Ontario has come to a close, but that goes without saying, we have had a great time here with you on this hunt. We've had a fantastic time. There's been some highs, there's been some lows, there's been some weather, and there was some turkeys harvested.
Absolutely. You know, even though we both shot turkeys, I can't extend the amount of excitement that I felt seeing you get your very first turkey ever. And I want to take a thank you guys very much, Chris and Tegan from Bushnell's Sugar Effect, for inviting CWTF out on a hunt once again. Like you said, we had a blast, we had a great time. I want to thank you for helping bring awareness to our organization, the CWTF, as well as our Women Like Us program.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And Steve, thanks again for having us. It was so cool to see Tegan get her first bird. And a thank you to the Hughes and the Kerr family for giving us some accommodations. We absolutely had the greatest time this week. We're a little tired, but it was a good time. Thank you to all the viewers for tuning in. And make sure you tune in next week for another episode of Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
That's a wrap, folks.
Canadian Wild Turkey Federation is a proud conservation partner of Bushnell's Trigger Effect. Taxidermy services for Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Well, we just got to Ottawa.
Welcome to the Ottawa International Airport.
I had an interruption.
Please take note of where you parked, both level and row. Take your...
I really wish I could get out of this blind and do a turkey dance right now.
Of Ontario, where we will be hunting with Steve Nicholson.
Why do you keep staring at me?
I can't even.
This has been a Thunder Boys production.